Hi guys, my name's Winter. I've been reading some crazy mother-in-law stories that I could relate to. Like some of these stories, my life was also almost ruined by my husband Cade and mother-in-law Pauline. My sister-in-law, on the other hand, became my friend and confidant. I will tell you how I avoided being stuck paying for my mooching husband and mother-in-law. I married Cade very recently, actually. Sadly for us, the marriage didn't last long. Now that I know his real face, I consider it a blessing in disguise. You see, I'm a girl who's hungry for love. Cade understood that and gave me all his affection. Since we both had stable jobs, we decided to get married around 2 years after dating. Yes, I know we rushed it, but I had no idea how fake Cade's love was for me. When I married him, I thought he had a stable job like me. After our marriage, I was hit with a horrible truth. Cade said, "Winter, since we're now married, I think you should know something. I've been hiding a secret from you." "What are you talking about, Cade? You are scaring me." "I'm sorry, Winter. I had been lying about my job to you for a while. Remember the last job I had? I got laid off just before we got married." "What? Why didn't you tell me anything? I thought you were not contributing to our expenses because you had some debt before our marriage." "No, Winter, it's not that. I should have told you this sooner, but I was ashamed. In my family, men who can't provide are looked down upon, so I didn't want anyone to know. Promise me you won't tell anyone." I was a little miffed by the fact that Cade waited so long to tell me. I should have seen those red flags and saved myself, but I was naive. I decided to support him while he looked for a new job. Well, he didn't start looking even 6 months into our marriage. What was worse was the fact that I was also stuck paying his mother, Pauline, a monthly allowance. Now, let me tell you something. This woman is horrible. She treats other women like shit and always thought that I was a gold digger. She made her thoughts very clear publicly and seized all chances to humiliate me. It didn't help that Cade never stopped her. It was his sister Kylie who stood up for me. One day she told me in private, "Winter, you are a nice woman, but I don't think my brother deserves you. My family doesn't have the best people." "What do you mean, Kylie? So far I've found everyone to be pretty decent." "They are not good people, Winter. They will never appreciate you since you are a woman. I've gone through this, so I know. Look at me, Winter. I have such an established career, but all my mom does is dote on Cade because he's a man." Kylie's words were very true. Pauline did tend to put down women and praise her son for everything. I had always wondered how she would feel when she knew that I was the one paying for her expenses. I never knew back then that I would get to witness her reaction firsthand, and in the process, I would also see what a vile person Cade is. It all started at a family dinner which I was invited to. There were a lot of people on Cade's side, and we were having a lot of fun. But what my husband did at the dinner made me absolutely speechless. He was telling everyone that he was the breadwinner of the family. I would have accepted it if he had stopped at that. But he started to make fun of me and make up lies about me. He detailed how I made very little money and made him pay for my luxuries. Everyone was laughing with him while he portrayed me to be a gold digger. Their conversations both shocked and disgusted me. Pauline said, "See, I was right about her all along. Winter is nothing but a mooch. I would seriously rather be homeless than dependent on her anyway. Thank God my son is such a hard worker. It's too bad he is set on doing charity for his wife." "What can I say, Mom? You know your son is such a generous man. Sometimes I think that's why Winter married me. She can't take care of her expenses to save her life. I wonder what would have become of her if I wasn't here. She would have ended up homeless and on the street anyway. I would say that she would deserve it. Useless people like her absolutely need to get punished for being lazy. I was stunned to hear what Kate and Pauline were saying about me. I knew that Pauline always hated me, but the betrayal coming from Kate was too much for me to handle. I seriously couldn't believe what he had said. Not only had he lied about being the breadwinner, but also he made fun of me. I was almost starting to tear up from the pain. It was Kylie who decided to put a stop to the conversation. She said, "You two are being unnecessarily cruel on Winter. She's a great person and a hard-working woman. She doesn't deserve your horrible words. You should apologize to her, guys." Why the hell will we apologize to her? We're just telling the truth. She should be the one apologizing for being such a parasite. God, I can't believe my son literally has a pet for his wife. Winter can't even support herself. Like I said, she's lucky to have me. Men should take care of their women. Women tend to be very dependent on men. It's only natural that Winter would act this way. She is a woman after all. Kate and Pauline started to laugh at their own jokes. Even Kylie couldn't digest the poison they were spewing. Since she was a hard-working woman herself, these comments also hurt her a lot. It broke her heart to see her mom praise Cade just because he's a man. Meanwhile, I was starting to get over my hurt and instead felt red-hot anger. I literally sacrificed my time and money to look after these two ungrateful idiots. I couldn't recognize Cade anymore. I was furious but refrained from yelling at him then and there. Kate and Pauline continued their jokes until I was sick and tired of it. I had to fake a headache to leave the family dinner sooner. Kate seemed a little disappointed since Pauline and a few other people were encouraging him. When we returned home, I finally screamed at Cade. I said, "What the hell did you want to establish today? Why were you saying those things about me? I am not a parasite who lives off you. It's you who doesn't work anymore." My God, Winter, you need to chill out. It wasn't even that deep. You know the men in my family like to be a little macho. It would not do me good if people knew that I was unemployed. So, you had to go out of your way to paint me as a parasite? You couldn't have just lied about your job? You put me down in front of the whole family to satisfy your ego. How do you justify this, Cade? Answer me. You are being way too dramatic today, Winter. Learn to let things go. You're spoiling all my fun. Now calm down and go back to sleep. It's been a long night. No, absolutely not. I am not going to pretend that I was okay with what you did today. Hell, did you even hear what your mother said? Instead of defending me, you joined Pauline in humiliating me even more? Leave my mother off this, Winter. You are the one who can't take some jokes and harmless teasing. You're simply blaming us for your insecurities. Now, let's go to bed. You have to go to work tomorrow. I have the luxury to stay at home and waste time. You can't do that. Kate said that and casually went to the bedroom to sleep. I was stunned by how nonchalantly he dismissed my feelings. Hell, he couldn't even understand why I was reacting this way. Even after being home alone with me, he wouldn't accept that his words were hurtful, and he was still defending his mother. That night, I stayed on the couch and thought about things through and through. Everything was starting to make sense. I understood that I had been a fool. Cade and his mother used me to fund their lives, but they never held any feelings for me at all. Cade's attitude towards today's events also told me something that I was in denial about. Cade was using me, and he didn't care about me anymore. I was just a money machine to him who gave him what he wanted. At that point, I knew that my marriage was becoming financially abusive for me. I knew that I needed to get out. The next day, Kate acted like nothing happened. It was like he had forgotten how he had insulted me the day before. I tried to talk to him about it again, but he kept shutting me down. I got so fed up that it was easier for me to make a decision. But before I did anything, I needed to call Kylie. I called her from my office and said, "Kylie, I need to talk to you about what happened last night. Thank you for being the only one who stood up for me at least a little." "Oh, don't mention that, Winter. It was a weak attempt to try and stop them. Kate and Mom can get cruel when they want. It was wrong of Kate to insult you like that just because he's the breadwinner." "Yeah, about that, Kylie. Kate has been lying to everyone about that one. He isn't the breadwinner, but I am. He left his job about 6 months ago. He hasn't told anyone." "Oh my God! So he was lying to everyone? Does Mom know about this?" Pauline had no idea that her son wasn't paying her allowance. It was me who was giving her money. Cade would never compromise his manly image even to his mother, so he's been lying to her as well. "I can't believe these people, Winter. It's bad enough that I have to put up with them, but for you, it must be crazy." "Yes, Kylie. I'm done being the ATM for Cade and Pauline. I have realized that Cade just married me for money. He knew I was hungry for love and would do what he wanted. Thank God I saw his true face before wasting many more years on him." "Are you planning to do something, Winter? You can tell me. I'll try to help you as much as I can. I understand your place, Winter. I have been suffering for years as well." I told Kylie what I was planning to do. I wanted to teach Cade and Pauline a nice lesson for their horrible views on women, and I needed them to understand that they can't just use people how they want. So I made a plan with Kylie and set out to execute it. Then I went straight to a lawyer's office with a few things in mind. After I was done with that, I decided to wait for a week before executing the first half of my plan. When the week was up, I was prepared to start with Cade. He was the one going down first. Just 6 months into our marriage, I sat him down and said, "Cade, there's something important I need to talk about. You need to be patient and listen." "This better not be about that stupid family dinner again, Winter. It's starting to piss me off. You need to drop the issue and stop being dramatic. I hate dramatic women." "Well, in that case, I have some good news for you, Cade. You don't have to be with me anymore. I have filed for the annulment of our marriage." "What? No, 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 you're joking with me. Why would you annul our marriage?" "You will want to know why, Cade. It is because of you. First of all, you lied about being employed and tricked me into supporting your mooching lifestyle. When I still try to communicate with you, I discover that you don't even care about my feelings anymore. Might I also add that you did nothing to protect me from your mother?" "Look, Winter, those were some minor inconveniences. We don't need to get an annulment just because of that." "Then what is your plan, Cade? Want to string me along for a few years until you're fit to claim alimony from me? Those plans won't work anymore, Cade. I know exactly what kind of a man you are. You used me to support yours and your mother's life. In return, you gave me nothing but insults and shame." Cade looked at my angry form and immediately started to apologize for his actions. He understood that I was not exactly the doormat he had always imagined me to be. Instead, I was a woman who knew how to stand up for herself. As soon as he heard annulment, he realized that his human ATM was going to escape. So he started to plead with me. He had no idea what more I had in store for him. He said, "Winter, please don't do this to us. We were so happy together. We don't have to destroy everything for a small mishap." "You call this a small mishap? For days, I have tried to talk to you about your actions, Cade. You ignored me every time and got mad at me for bringing this up. Not once did you even apologize for being such a prick. Our relationship was good until you decided to trick me into supporting you and your mother. We can negotiate that, Winter. Look, I messed up and I'm sorry. There, I even apologized to you. Isn't that enough? I don't want your filthy apology, Cade. I'm done with you, and we are getting an annulment. Oh, there is another thing I forgot to mention. I pulled out some documents from my bag and handed them to Cade. He was very confused about what I was showing him. When he read the papers, he was in shock again. He started to shake and said, Is this? Yes, Cade. These documents are about our marriage annulment and your eviction notice. Since I informed you about the annulment, I thought I might as well give you the eviction papers too. No, Winter, you can't kick me out. I'm your husband. You can't just do this to me. Where is your attention, Cade? I already told you that I have filed for annulment. Are you deaf or blind? You won't be my husband for much longer. Please don't kick me out, Winter. I don't have anywhere else to go. You know, I can't tell Mom about me losing my job. That simply cannot happen. You had no problem lying to Pauline about your job. I'm sure you'll find a way. You know, make up a story or something. As for your mom, she will no longer get any money from me, of course. Since I am a generous woman, I'm letting you figure out a plan before the month is up. I said my part and left Cade to fend for himself. I knew he would call Kylie for help, but, as we had planned, she will deny him any kind of help. Kylie had suffered enough humiliation at the hands of Cade and Pauline. She was fed up with them and wanted to cut contact anyway, so she was eager to participate in my plan. For the next month, Cade did everything in his power to make me change my mind. He turned very romantic and showered me with affection. He even bought me gifts with the last allowance I gave him. I simply left them in the main bedroom and went off to sleep in the guest room. I gave him the main bedroom as a last gift from my side. In a few days, he would probably have to kiss the cold street anyway. Until the very end, he was convinced that I wouldn't kick him out. Meanwhile, Pauline had no idea about what was going on. When the month was up and she didn't receive her allowance, she stormed into my house and said, "Why the hell didn't I get my allowance, Winter? I know it was you. It has to be you. You never liked the fact that Cade sent me money. You must have intentionally misplaced the money or stolen it." Believe me, Pauline, I don't freaking care if your dear son wants to send you money. He can do so as he pleases. I don't need his money to feed or clothe myself. You are lying, Winter. Cade has told everyone that you are dependent on him. You have already drained his account and have set your eyes on my money. First of all, Pauline, it was never your money to begin with. Now that I say it, the money wasn't Cade's either. You need to stop saying that. Why will I stop saying that? My poor son works very hard to look after me. I will scream it to the world to tell everyone what a successful man he is. Is that right, Pauline? Then what will you scream and tell the world when I tell you that Cade is unemployed and that I was the one sending you money? That is nonsense. I will never believe it, and neither will others. Cade has told me that he is the breadwinner of this house. Right, Cade? Cade remained quiet and looked down to the floor. Pauline was staring at him, expecting him to crack a joke about me or tell her how he is the breadwinner of this house. But this time, Cade remained silent. He knew that he could not keep lying for any longer. When Cade didn't speak for a while, Pauline said, "Cade, why are you not saying anything? Tell your wife I'm right." How will he say that, Pauline? Your useless son doesn't even have the guts to accept that he lives off his wife's income. Yes, I am the breadwinner and sole provider of this household. I was the one giving you money because Cade wanted to take care of his mom. No, that can't be possible. My son is a man and won't depend on a woman. You are lying to me. You will find out soon enough, Pauline. Since I am now seeking annulment of my marriage, you can enjoy being homeless with your son. I guess he didn't tell you this as well. It's been a month since I've given him an eviction notice. He will need to move out by next week. Hearing this, Pauline starts to interrogate Cade about what I said. Since Cade realized that he couldn't hide the truth anymore, he told her the truth. After some back and forth, Pauline realized that she had been dependent on me all along. Suddenly, she was begging me not to leave Cade and stop paying for their expenses. I laughed in their faces and reminded Pauline what she had thought of me last month. Pauline and Cade both started to apologize to me and begged me to change my mind. I simply turned and left. Till the next week, Cade and Pauline continued to pester me with their begging. When the week was up, I told Cade to leave my property or else I would call the police. He left with his things and moved in with Pauline. From what Kylie told me, they had been pestering her for money. After she firmly said no, they turned their attention back to me. I blocked their numbers and told Cade only to contact me through a lawyer. Cade and I got separated very easily. He didn't have the money to fight me in court, so he had to give in to the annulment. Last I heard, he and Pauline were being kicked out of her apartment after not paying rent for months. Since Kylie has cut contact with them and refused to send them money, they had to take turns crashing couches on other relatives' places. Even they were tired of hosting them for free, and their future was unsure. As for me, I'm slowly rebuilding my life and learning to be content on my own. I have promised myself never to fall into anyone's trap again, and I hope I will find my true soulmate soon.